Hey everyone, Duke here, and today we're going over the third Master Challenge in Root of Nightmares, Cosmic Equilibrium. This challenge is for the third encounter, Macrocosm, aka the Planets encounter, and requires that you bring all of the dark planets to the left side of the room and all of the light planets to the right side to start the middle planets, aka indexed planets phase. Starting this phase in any other way will result in challenge failed. By completing the challenge this week, you will get the Adept Auto Rifle, Rufus's Fury. Especially with the upcoming auto rifle buffs, this is a weapon I would highly recommend chasing and getting a good roll of. To explain the challenge a bit further before we get into too much detail, most teams normally bring the singular different planet across the room on both the close and far set of platforms to get to the middle planets phase in one round and then go straight into damage. This will result in all the light planets being on the left side and all the dark planets being on the right side. However, this challenge asks you to do it the opposite way, where you will need to bring the two dark planets to the left side and two light planets to the right side. If you're looking for some help or have any other specific questions, I'll be doing helps for this challenge on my stream multiple times this week at twitch.tv/DukeIsCool, so come on by. First off, let's talk about loadouts, modifiers, and master changes. As with all challenges in this raid, you will be capped at 1820 power and forced to play at least 20 power below. The previous 2 weeks didn't feel too bad with this power deficit, but this week you will absolutely feel it, so bring your focus and A-game for survival. Master specifically changes all the mini-boss Colossus on the plates to barrier champions. So you're going to want a way to consistently solo these if you are one of the 4 people on plate duty. Arbalist is still a great choice, with Volatile through the use of Volatile Flow and the artifact being another strong option. This week is Solar Singe, so you will get 25% extra damage from solar sources, but I feel like the artifact mods that we can take advantage of this season with Void are too good to pass up. Volatile Flow, as mentioned, is going to help immensely with both ad clear and as a barrier break option, and Bricks from Beyond is paramount and insanely strong due to the large amount of orange bar enemies throughout this encounter. As a Starfire Warlock, I felt okay lowering my overall DPS output by using a Void LMG and focusing most of my damage into just throwing grenades, and I would recommend at least a few players on the team run Void LMGs in order to have the extremely potent ad clear and heavy ammo drops that they bring. Rockets, especially solar ones, will be better for pure DPS, but if you can't get to DPS consistently, that'll be more of an issue than anything else. I also tried to work in Hollow Denial with Lead from Gold and Repulsor Brace to give myself another ad clear weapon, a bit of extra survivability, and take advantage of all the heavy bricks that will be around through Lead from Gold, but any short to medium range ad clear option will be strong here. There's a few extra mods I'd also highly recommend running in your build. Void Siphon is huge for making tons of orbs when getting multi-kills, or of course the Siphon of your choice if running a non-Void focused build. 2 Surge mods on your boots for your heavy weapon of choice will add 17% damage to that weapon, and you could run 3 Surge mods here instead to go up to 22% damage, but I feel like Recuperation is just too strong of a survival option in this encounter especially to pass up for just 5% more damage. As for the encounter itself, it's not going to be too different than you're used to running, just with a lot more precision required. From your assigned plate, make sure you are doing your best to kill scions as they spawn out your nearest door, and then help kill the middle adds, especially the Centurions, so that your Colossus will spawn. When the Colossus comes out, make sure to focus it ASAP, as it can and will kill you if you're not careful. Don't be afraid to use supers or heavies if needed as well, as I've already alluded to multiple times, the hardest part of this encounter is getting to damage phase, so you don't want to hold back on your resources to help get you there. Once you have your planetary insight buff, call out and grab one of the 2 planets that are the same on your side. This should be a light planet if you're on the left side of the room, and a dark planet if you're on the right side. It doesn't matter which of the 2 that you pick, just make sure that you let your partner across know which one you are grabbing. Go ahead and switch this planet with your partner across as you normally would. Do note that due to the way this challenge works, this takes away the option of doing 1 set of planets at a time like I've heard some teams use, and it also requires that you move the correct planets on every rotation. So survival, knowledge of your team's callouts, and moving fast enough to move the planets before the shift ends are all absolute requirements here. I'll have a picture on screen now of the callouts that I use, but any callouts can work as long as your whole team is on the same page with it. Once this first set of planets has been moved, repeat the process of killing the Centurions to spawn the Colossus, and kill your Colossus. One tip I would give is to just stay on the side that you cross to after the first phase, rather than spending time and potentially putting yourself in harm's way to get back to your original position. So if you started on the top left and went across to the top right, you'll just be the new top right plate person for this second phase. On this second phase, you'll want to move your single remaining quote-unquote different planet to the opposite side, which is exactly how you would normally do the encounter. The difference is that the single planet will be the opposite color it normally would be. So if you're on left, you should have one light planet left, and if you're on right, you should have a singular dark planet left. So grab that planet and bring it across so that all the dark planets end up on the left side and all the light planets end up on the right side. If done correctly, you will see that the index planets reveal themselves as per usual and that the challenge has not failed. If the challenge is going to fail, it will be exactly at the moment when the index planets reveal themselves, so that's the only point where you need to really be checking to make sure that you did things correctly. From here, the encounter is exactly the same as normal. Kill the last set of Centurions, and then your Plates Colossus, and bring the 3 planets that are needed to the middle, and then start the damage phase. 2 quick tips for the damage phase. First, the first damage phase will always be the color of the planet that there's 2 of in the middle, and then it will alternate. So it's always either going to be dark first, then light, then dark again, or light first, then dark, then light again, depending on your 3 planets in middle. You can use this to be ready for damage phase immediately and not have to wait to see the boss's shield and then go run to the correct plate and kind of lose that downtime in between. Second, once you've touched the plate, you can do damage from anywhere for about 8 or so seconds. You can use this to spread yourselves out a bit, especially if using rockets so you don't end up hitting each other in the back and killing yourselves, or if you don't have about 8 billion warlocks and a well for every plate. Placing a well in the very middle of all 3 plates allows it to be used for most, if not the entirety, of the 3 plates of damage. Also a quick note about Starfire Warlocks with Demolitionist Rockets, as this is one of the best damage options. If multiple people are running Witherhoard to get those damage ticks for Starfire, only one person will actually count towards the damage and get that grenade energy. You can up this to 2 people if one person hits the boss directly and one shoots the floor and basically is doing damage from underneath the boss, but just keep this in mind throughout Destiny, as I've seen it trip some people up when relying on this strategy throughout different encounters in the game and wondering why they're not getting Starfire to work or why they're not doing damage and making things a lot more difficult if too many people are using this on the same boss at the same time. After the damage phase, you'll just need to rinse repeat the same process until the boss has been defeated. Do note that you have 3 damage phases until the boss will go into the enraged state, and basically that's just going to put you straight into final stand if you haven't gotten to enraged before. But if you make it here, it's just basically giving you a really, really long damage phase. Like final stand is crazy long, so as long as you make it this far and are doing like pretty much any amount of damage, you should be golden, good to go, and finish off the boss during this phase. I hope this complete guide to the Cosmic Equilibrium Challenge was helpful. As always, I'll be doing helps on my stream multiple times this week for those looking for some help with this challenge and continuing towards the title. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.